Welcome back to the Haunted Territory. If you watched part 1, then you already know about the terrifying legend of the Route 66 bus. A bus that shouldn't exist. But what you are about to hear next is where the story takes a truly horrifying turn. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I highly recommend watching it first. And for everyone else, buckle up, because we're heading back to Black Hollow, where the nightmare is only just beginning. The bus rolled to a stop only a few feet away from me. Its brakes released with a long, metallic hiss. The sound echoed through the empty streets of Black Hollow, and then silence. Complete silence. I stood frozen. My camera was still recording. Every instinct in my body told me to leave, to get in my truck and drive away as fast as possible. But curiosity is a dangerous thing, especially when you're used to chasing mysteries for a living. The bus looked impossibly old. The metal body was covered in rust. Several windows were cracked. Its headlights glowed with a dull yellow light, and yet the engine was still running. Slowly, the folding doors opened. A cold gust of air rushed out. Not normal cold. The kind of cold you feel standing near an open grave during winter. I expected someone to step out. A driver, a passenger, anybody. Nobody came. The doors remained open, waiting, almost inviting me inside. I remembered the waitress. If you see the Route 66 bus, don't get on it. I remembered the truck driver. The bus always has one empty seat. I should have listened. Instead, I stepped closer. The interior lights flickered weakly. From where I stood, I could see rows of seats stretching toward the back. And they weren't empty. People were sitting inside. My stomach tightened. At first, I felt relieved. Maybe this was some kind of tourist attraction. A local prank. A weird art project. Then I noticed something strange. Nobody was moving. Not a single passenger. No one looked out the window. No one turned their head. No one blinked. They simply sat there, facing forward, perfectly still. A chill crawled down my spine. "Hello?" I called out. No answer. The passengers didn't react, not even slightly. I took another step closer, and that's when I realized something even worse. Their clothes looked old, very old. Some wore styles from the 1980s. Others looked like they came straight from the early 1990s. One woman wore a denim jacket with faded patches. A man near the middle had an old cassette player clipped to his belt. It was as if time had stopped inside the bus. I lifted my camera, zoomed in, and focused on the nearest passenger. The image made my heart skip a beat. His skin was pale, almost gray. His eyes were open, but they looked lifeless, cloudy, like the eyes of a dead fish. I lowered the camera immediately. For a second, I thought my imagination was running wild. Maybe it was the lighting. Maybe the grainy camera image had distorted his face. Then, the passenger slowly turned his head and looked directly at me. I nearly dropped the camera. His eyes were completely white. No pupils, no color, nothing. Just white. The man stared at me without blinking, without expression. Then, very slowly, he raised one finger and pointed toward the open doorway, inviting me inside. I stepped backward. Nope. I laughed nervously. Nope, not happening. I turned toward my truck, ready to leave. Then I heard a voice behind me, a normal voice, a human voice.
Help me! Somebody help
Please,
me! Get away
help
from
us.
me!
I froze. Slowly, I turned around. A young woman was now standing inside the bus, near the front. I hadn't seen her stand up. 1 second she was seated. The next, she was there. Her face looked normal, at least compared to the others. Tears filled her eyes. Please,
Help me!
she
Somebody
whispered.
help me! Get away
Help
from
us. The fear inside me briefly gave way to sympathy. What happened to you? I asked. The woman looked terrified. We can't leave. What do you mean? Her lips trembled. The driver won't let us. The moment she said that, every passenger on the bus turned toward me simultaneously. Every single one. Dozens of heads rotating at the exact same time. The sound of cracking neck joints echoed through the bus. I stumbled backward. And that's when I noticed something. The driver's seat. Until that moment, I hadn't paid attention to it. Now, I did. And my blood turned to ice. Because there was someone sitting there. Someone who hadn't been there before. The driver. Tall, thin, motionless. He wore an old gray uniform. The fabric looked rotten with age. His hands rested on the steering wheel. But his face was hidden in shadow. No matter how hard I looked, I couldn't see it. The darkness around his head seemed unnatural, almost alive. The young woman suddenly screamed, "Don't look at him!" I instantly looked away. The moment I did, the bus lights flickered violently. For a brief second, everything went dark. Then the lights returned. The woman was gone, back in her seat, as if she'd never moved. The passengers were facing forward again, perfectly still. The entire scene felt like a nightmare. I should have left. I know that now. But then I noticed something near the front row. An old newspaper lying on one of the seats. Curiosity got the better of me. I stepped onto the first stair of the bus. Nothing happened. Second stair. Still nothing. Third stair. I was inside. The air felt wrong. Heavy. Cold. Stale. Like breathing inside a tomb. I picked up the newspaper. The date printed across the top made my stomach drop. August 14th, 1996. Exactly 30 years earlier. The headline read, Route 66 bus missing after desert storm. My hands started shaking. This wasn't a prank. This wasn't a local legend. Something impossible was happening. And then I saw the passenger list printed beneath the article. Names. Dozens of names. I scanned the page quickly. Then my eyes landed on the final entry. The very last passenger. My heart stopped. Because the name wasn't from 1996. It wasn't 30 years old. It had been added recently. Written in fresh black ink. And the name read, Alex Carter. My name. My exact name. I dropped the newspaper. Suddenly, the bus doors slammed shut behind me. The sound exploded through the cabin. Passengers slowly began turning their heads, one after another, toward me, toward the empty seat in the back, the only empty seat, the seat waiting for its next passenger. And from the darkness at the front of the bus, the driver finally spoke. His voice sounded like dozens of voices speaking together. Human, yet not human. And what he said next nearly stopped my heart. Welcome aboard, Alex. If you think the legend of the Route 66 bus is just another ghost story, think again. Because what happened next changed everything. In part 2, the mysterious bus finally appears, and what's waiting inside is far more terrifying than anyone could imagine. So make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And tell me in the comments, if you saw a bus that shouldn't exist, would you get on it? See you in part 3, where the real nightmare begins.